A friend of mine is known for sweeping girls off of their feet. He's an extremely aggressive janitor. Today, I'm going to recap a 1996 action thriller film called Maximum Risk. The movie begins with a man being hunted down on the streets of Nice, France. He escapes into a building while being chased by some people. He smashes a door and enters a house, then jumps onto another balcony. Eventually, the man falls down and continues to flee on a tricycle as people chase him in a car. He manages to avoid the chasing strangers, but gets distracted and falls on the windshield of a car. He smashes the glass, and then we find out that he is dead. Alain Moreau, a policeman, and also the protagonist, is brought to the scene by his colleague Sebastien, because the dead man's face is identical to Alain's. Sebastien reveals that he was tortured and then chased. Matches recovered from the victim's pocket point to a nearby hotel. Sebastien says he doesn't want to involve Alain in the investigation, but he tells him that he is already participating. They go to the hotel, where the owner mistakenly identifies Alain as Mikhail Suvorov and leaves him a message saying, "Call Alex Bohemia." In Mikhail's room is a passport with Alain's date of birth and a plane ticket to New York. In addition, they find cash and his driver's license. Alain visits his mother, who reveals that he had a twin brother who they had to abandon at birth due to poverty. Mikhail was adopted by a lawyer. Now the mother is depressed and regrets what she did, so Alain consoles her. Alain and Sebastien decide to visit the lawyer who adopted Mikhail and travel to Paris. When they arrive at the lawyer's apartment, they discover that someone has set fire to it. Alain goes inside and discovers that the lawyer has been killed. In the process, a woman keeps screaming, and he grabs a fire extinguisher to put out the fire. The woman begs him not to kill her and gives him Mikhail's adoption papers. He grabs the lady and is about to leave the apartment when he is suddenly attacked by a man, a huge Russian hitman. A fight breaks out between the two, and Alain manages to beat him. He then grabs the lady and runs away. He shows the adoption papers to Sebastien, which reveal that Mikhail was adopted by a Russian family that came to the United States. Alain travels to New York with the passport and plane ticket to investigate his brother's death and find out more about him. He remembers the tickets found in the hotel and decides to go there, posing as his brother. In New York, he meets a naive and talkative taxi driver, so he persuades him to look for a person named Alex Bohemia. He arrives in a poor neighborhood and meets a man named Martin, who mistakes him for his twin brother. Martin reveals that Mikhail was a member of the Russian mafia. Alain names Alex Bohemia, and Martin directs him to the Bohemia Club in Little Odessa. He enters the club, and the bartender offers him a free drink. Soon after, a woman named Alex Bartlett mistakenly identifies him as Mikhail and kisses him. She then hands him a key to a hotel room and tells him that he should not be here. After he leaves the club, the henchmen of a man named Ivan intercept him and tell Alain that their boss needs to talk to him. The man tells them that they were like family, but he betrayed them. They try to stab him, and Alain knocks them out. Soon after, the talkative taxi driver arrives, and Alain asks him to take him to the hotel, showing the key Alex gave him. Since he doesn't trust the woman, he takes another hotel room. In the meantime, Ivan arrives at the Bohemian Club and discovers that his henchmen have failed to detain Alain for even 10 minutes. Startled, the henchman says that Alain has been talking to Alex. When Ivan asks the woman what they talked about, she lies and leaves. Alain falls asleep in the hotel room, but wakes up when someone knocks on the door. Alex comes inside and starts kissing him. The woman begins to undress, and he reveals that he is not Mikhail. Soon after, he notices that Ivan is in the hotel and is looking for him. The criminals ask the hotel owner for Alain's room number, but when they go inside, the two have already escaped. They run across the rooftops, and shortly after, the criminals spot them. They arrive at a nightclub, where Ivan's men start shooting, and chaos breaks out. Alain's taxi driver friend notices them outside the club and offers them a ride. Fortunately, they manage to escape the Russian hitman and Ivan's gang. In the car, it turns out that the taxi driver has been shot, and they have to stop. Alain says goodbye to his friend for the last time and escapes with Alex. They stop at a bar, where Alex reveals to him that Mikhail was her boyfriend and that she was planning to escape from the Russian mafia. Alain asks to take him to Mikhail's house to find out more about him, but Alex considers this a terrible idea. Nevertheless, she agrees to take him in order to stay together. Shifting to FBI agents working with the Russian mafia, they need Alain to complete a task. Back to Alain and Alex, they arrive at Mikhail's house, where a henchman is waiting for them. Alain knocks him out, and then they check the house. He discovers that Mikhail found out about his existence after reading an article in the newspaper about his combat exploits. At that moment, Yuri, a henchman of Ivan's, knocks on the door. Alain opens it and beats him violently. He takes a mirror and repeatedly hits Yuri and tells him to stay away from him. Ivan goes to meet a Russian mafia boss named Kirov, who asks him to bring Alain to him, thinking it is Mikhail. Ivan would like to deal with him in his own way, by killing him, but Kirov forbids him to do so. Alain and Alex move to their friend's cabin after more Russians arrive home. When he wonders why the mob wanted him dead, Alex reveals that Mikhail had to cooperate with the FBI against Kirov. 2 FBI agents arrive at the cabin the next day, knowing it is Alain and not Mikhail. According to them, Mikhail has kept evidence against the Russian mafia that he wanted to bring to them to get out of the dirty business. The agents want him to disguise himself as Mikhail to gain access to his safe deposit box at the bank in Nice. In actuality, they just want to erase the evidence linking them to the Russian mafia. Realizing that the FBI, not the mafia, has knowledge of Mikhail's death, Alain concludes that FBI agents killed Mikhail and refuses to cooperate. At that point, they try to use violence, but Alain ties them up and then leaves with Alex. Alain tells Alex to stay in the car and goes to meet Kirov, the head of the Russian mafia. He discovers them in a banya and informs Kirov that Ivan tried to kill him, enraging the mob boss. Kirov chases Ivan away to speak privately with Alain. He asks for safe transportation home to France and promises him the list in the bank that his brother has hidden. Meanwhile, Ivan sends the big Russian thug to kill Kirov and Alain. The mob boss is stabbed, and Alain begins to fight the Russian. During the confrontation, Kirov is shot dead by Ivan. Subsequently, Ivan and his henchmen chase Alain, who manages to escape from the banya. A chase through the city ensues, where Alain is about to be hit by a train, but escapes just in time. Soon, the NYPD arrives, and Alain is arrested. Ivan meets with the 2 corrupt cops, and the 2 say they need Alain to dispose of the evidence hidden in the bank in Nice. The 2 corrupt FBI agents track down Alex, bail Alain out, and use the girl to force him to open the safe in the Nice bank. Next, everyone is in a hotel room in Nice. Alex runs to the bathroom and asks Alain if he has an escape plan, but the latter says no. Alex stresses that the agents will not leave them alive, even if they get the list. The next morning, they arrive at the bank, and we find out that Ivan has captured Sebastien, Alain's friend. Because of the bank policy, only Alain has access to the safe deposit box, and the FBI agents have to wait outside. After a couple of test questions, Alain gains access to the box. When he opens it, he discovers thousands of dollars in cash, a gun, and a recording of Mikhail, explaining why he left the mob to reunite with his family. We learn that Mikhail made the recording specifically for Alain, as he cannot trust others. His brother tells him to send the evidence, blaming the Russian criminals and the FBI, to the American embassy. Also, the money is for Alain and his mother, who Mikhail has learned to forgive. Mikhail says he discovered he had a twin brother by accident, and at that point, wanted to leave the criminal life. Alain gets emotional and then prepares to leave. He directs the banker to send the materials to the American embassy. Afterwards, he lights a cigarette and activates the sprinkler system to escape. When he leaves the room, he discovers the banker dead and the material gone. The Russian hitman was sent by Ivan to steal the evidence. The fire alarm goes off, and Alain reaches an elevator, where he begins to fight the Russian. The elevator opens, and people are about to enter, but the Russian shouts at them to go away. Then the criminal starts choking Alain as he tries to grab the knife. He kicks the knife, stabbing the goon's foot. The Russian falls to the ground, and Alain stabs him. The elevator opens, and the policemen point their guns at Alain. The two FBI agents grab Alex and drive away, running off in a car. Meanwhile, the police officers are about to check Ivan's van, but Sebastien shows his badge, and they are about to leave. Suddenly, police cars surround the van and order them to abandon it. Sebastien tries to immobilize Ivan, and at that moment, Alain also arrives and shoots the driver right in the head. Ivan takes Sebastien hostage and attempts to escape. Nevertheless, Alain manages to shoot out the tires of the van and overturn the car. After an explosion, the car catches fire and Alain attempts to save his friend. He smashes the glass of the van and shakes Sebastien's hand, but Ivan holds him back and shoots, missing Alain. On the other hand, Sebastien beats Ivan and then manages to get out of the van with Alain's help. Finally, the two friends walk away just before the car completely explodes. Sebastien informs Alain about the two FBI agents who took Alex away. He runs into traffic and then identifies the agent's car. He steals a car, and a long chase through the city of Nice ensues. Alain chases the FBI agents into a cold storage room. The two agents use Alex as a hostage and try to kill Alain, who is still dazed after the impact. He gets out of the car and manages to shoot one of the agents. The last remaining one says he knows he no longer has the evidence, but now he wants the money that Mikhail left for his brother. Suddenly, Alain comes from behind and pushes him to the ground. The agent finds a chainsaw and attacks him with it, but Alain manages to get the gun back and kills him. Next, Mikhail's evidence about the cooperation between the Mafia and the FBI successfully arrives at the American embassy. Finally, Alain brings Alex, his new romantic interest, to meet his mother to inform her about Mikhail. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.